Good morning. It's Toni Ross. Happy Monday. Hope you had a fantastic weekend. We got some crazy weather coming our way. It's a little all over the place. We're going to break that down. Your full forecast on the way. And Tim Hortons has announced that those retro donuts that we know and love, well, a few of them will be coming back in 2024. We got that coming up a little later on this hour. It's Roz Bell, and happy holidays to you on 103.1 Fresh Radio. We do have a snow squall warning in effect for the area. So if the system hits us direct, it could be about 5 to 10 centimeters of snow by the end of it. It's going on from this afternoon to tomorrow morning. Looking at it right now, we do have that rain, but with the wind, it is feeling a little chillier, so that rain could turn to snow or even freezing rain. The snow part of it is really going to kick in probably around 3 or 4 this afternoon, so just as the roads are getting busy after work, school pickups, going to activities, all that good stuff. And then it's going to be a steady little sprinkling. Like I said, if the system does hit us like direct, yes, it could be about 5 to 10 centimeters. If not, it could just be, some light flurries throughout the day and into the evening. Very cold with the wind. Later on tonight, we're going down to like minus 10 is what it'll feel like, they say. And they, I mean the meteorologists, the smart weather people. And then tomorrow it is chilly. Minus 2 will be the high with sunshine, but the wind is going to be gusting. So once again, it'll feel much cooler. Now looking at, Christmas Eve, it looks like sunshine, 4 degrees. Christmas Day, we're going to see a little bit of sunshine, 6 degrees, which is good for traveling. We are going to see some rain Christmas night. Boxing Day evening, it does look like there are more flurries in the forecast. But hey, still early, anything can change. It's Trey, and a Merry Christmas, everybody, on 103.1 Fresh Radio. Well, Tim Hortons has been listening to their customers, and they have decided they are bringing not 1, not 2, but 4 of the retro donuts back to their menu in 2024. We'll get to those details on the way. It's Trans-Siberian Orchestra's Christmas Canon on Fresh Radio.
Fully prepared for the Is Die Hard a Christmas movie debate?
Yippee-ki-yay.
Toni Ross on 103.1 Fresh Radio.
London's official Christmas station, 103.1 Fresh Radio. A couple weeks ago, we were talking about a casting call. You had the opportunity to be in a Tim Hortons commercial. They said if you love donuts, specifically retro donuts, they were going to be filming a commercial, and it was going to pay quite well. So we might actually know people that are in those commercials since it was an open casting. And it all makes sense because as of January 10th, Tim Hortons is bringing back some of their iconic retro donuts. They have only announced one of the 4, and that is the Dutchie, the square-shaped treat speckled with raisins. Now, this one actually launched back in 1964 with the brand's inception, but was actually taken off the menu in the early 2000s. Now, in 2017, they did bring it back for Canada's 150, but then it quickly was off the menu. But they have been doing polls and asking customers, like, hey, what donuts do you miss? Like an eclair came up. There's a bunch of different ones that people are wanting back. So 4 of them will make their return as of January 10th. As of right now, we just know that the Dutchie is coming back, the Dutchie donut, and it just looks so delicious. So I'm glad that they're bringing it back for, what is it, their 60th? Yeah, I guess that makes sense, right? It is their 60th anniversary. And like I said before, there was that open casting. Who knows? Maybe one of our friends has made it into a Tim Hortons commercial. We'll probably see that as we head into the new year. It's Tony Bennett and Winter Wonderland on Fresh Radio. What a game for the London Knights yesterday. It was actually played on the anniversary of the passing of Abakar Kazbekov, their teammate who passed away last year. But they did have a win. They hosted the Sudbury Wolves. It was a 4-3 comeback victory in overtime. I was watching some people post about the game. They're like, whoa, one to watch or one to listen to. I know the feed was a little messed up for television. But of course, you can always tune into the games, 980 CFPL. We got those broadcasting for you. But an emotional start to the game, but they were able to win it for Abbey, which was definitely a somber win, but a win that they definitely deserved. It's John Legend, and have yourself a Merry Little Christmas on 103.1 Fresh Radio. The Rogers Center renovations are really underway. They continue to show a progress video, and most recently we're getting a better look at the 100 level, which is the main focus of this part of the renovation. We'll get to those details on the way. It's Gwen Stefani, Blake Shelton. You make it feel like Christmas on 103.1 Fresh Radio. London's official Christmas station, 103.1 Fresh Radio. The Rogers Center continues to show updates of some of the renovations that are going on. So they tore out all the seats, pretty pretty much they're focusing on the 100 level. And what's going to be different with the new seating design is that it'll be better angled for the baseball experience with all the seats aimed toward the infield. This demolition video is kind of cool to watch, but also kind of sad. I mean, just think about the history in these buildings and the seats. Like, I mean, they could have been salvaged and sold, but no, they just, I think, went to the dump. So the reason that the Rogers Center was the way it was is because it was a multi-sport stadium. There would be soccer games and football games and baseball games. So the way the seating was to kind of accommodate all of those sports. But now it's primarily a ballpark. The Blue Jays are the primary residents of this establishment. So they want to make it a better viewing experience. Now they are also going to be introducing a series of 3 premium clubs throughout the ballpark located in the 100 level infield, which are targeted towards the stadium season ticket holders. Now, they are working around the clock. They are working 7 days a week on this, which is a lot. But the home opener for the Blue Jays is only 115 days away, which I know sounds like a long time, but in like construction time, that's not long at all. So they've ripped it out. They brought a whole bunch of concrete in it. They're kind of switching the whole viewing experience. So it will be interesting to see what it looks like. I don't know if it will be as noticeable as part 1 of their renovations where they did the upper levels and, added those lounges and the seating areas and the comfort areas. This is more for the baseball fan for sure. But if you want to see that, I'll try and get it on our Facebook page. But yes, this progress video has been posted to their YouTube, and it's pretty cool to see. It's Laurel and Wrapped Up in You on 103.1 Fresh Radio. So like many people, I am, going through my list. Hey, like Santa, checking my list, checking it twice, going over who did I forget for the holidays. And I realized a lot. I'm actually not seeing my, my family, like my dad and my sister, probably until the new year. So I kind of just didn't do gifts for them yet. I have ideas, but I figured let's just get the other stuff out of the way, like teacher gifts and classroom gifts. It's like everyone gets a gift, right? It's a lot. However, not only am I thinking Christmas, I have to also pre-plan my daughter's birthday party because this would be the week that I send out invites because we won't see them, the kids again till like the first week back of school. And that doesn't give parents a lot of time to plan. So I'm trying to organize this birthday party, but honestly, it's frustrating. And what are with young children and their obsession with talking about their parties in front of everyone? We'll get to what happened this morning and why now I'm sure I'm going to have like 15 children at my house. It's New School and Sweetest Christmas on Fresh. London's official Christmas station, 103.1 Fresh Radio. I've been not only figuring out the holidays, like many of us are, but also trying in my brain to find enough space to work on my daughter's birthday party because it's early January. And now the invites would have to go out this week. So it gives parents enough time because it's like the first weekend back after the holidays and all of that stuff. So, we're going over what does she want to do for her birthday. Birthdays are a big deal for kids. And we kind of got on the idea of like, okay, well, let's have like your old school home birthday, like having a few friends over. We'll play some games. We'll do a craft. We'll listen to some music, eat some pizza, have some cupcakes. Easy peasy, right? But the thing is that I said you can have like 5 friends plus like our neighbors who are across the street. They're her friends. So it's like, okay, in total, I want like 8 kids. That's a lot in one little room. But of course, we're figuring things out over the weekend and I say goodbye. Have a great day. I watch her in her little line at kindergarten and she's telling the whole group of people, all right, well, the birthday's at this time and it's this and we're doing this and like half of these kids weren't on your invite list. And you can't tell people about your birthday and all the details about your birthday and now not give them an invite. Like, that's just cruel. So now I have to have a conversation with her. I'm like, I told you to zip it when it came to your birthday chat because you're not inviting the whole class this year. Last year we did that. Last year we did a whole class at a little fun trampoline park place. And it was great. It was great. It was expensive, but it was fun. Not doing that this year. You get your 5 people from your class, so stop telling everyone about it. So I'm going to have to talk to her after. And I'm like, okay, well, who did you tell? Because now we have to give them an invite, which is fine because, it'll be most of the girls in our class anyway. But still, like, what is with kids and the obsession of like, you don't get to come to my party? Well, yeah, if you told them about it, you can't be cruel now. Anyway, I left some wiggle room in this invite list. Yes, I said I was targeting 8. I'll max out at 11. That's enough tiny, like 5-6-year-olds in my house at one time. Oh my gosh. Yep. Just one more thing to the list today. It's Andrew Allen on Fresh Radio. A fun game officially kicked off this morning. Sven's Snowy Surprise. You remember our mountain climber, Sven? He usually finds some cash. Well, over the holidays, he's helping doing some shoveling, and he is having some gifts, some presents, some prizes being revealed. You just have to tell Sven when to stop shoveling. So we play weekday mornings with Fresh Morning at around 7:20. Listen for the cue to call, be caller 10, and then you will get to be the one that tells Sven when to stop shoveling, and a prize will appear. What the prize will be? Well, it's a surprise, right? It's Sven's Snowy Surprise. You can get all the details at 1031freshradio.ca. Amanda Bynes had just started a podcast with her friend. Now, she wasn't going to talk about her mental health nor her career. She was going to share other people's stories because they were way more fascinating. But after one episode, she is taking a pause for a very important reason. We'll get to that coming up in Trending Now in just a couple songs. Matt Dusk now. It's Cool Yule on 1031 Fresh Radio. London's official Christmas station, 1031 Fresh Radio. It is time to look at what is trending now. We're going to start with Amanda Bynes. She's had some ups and downs in her career and in her health battles, but it seemed like things were going in the right direction. She launched a new podcast. It was Amanda Bynes and Paul Saminsky. It's her friend, and she essentially said that this podcast is not going to be about her career and her movies and TV, and it's not going to be about her health struggles or mental health struggles along the way. She wanted to highlight other people's stories, and they were going to do interviews, and it was, these people had much more compelling lives than her and Paul. And they did one episode, and now she is taking a pause. She's taking a break from it, mainly because she was hoping to get people like Drake and Post Malone and Jack Harlow. And since they couldn't book them, she said, I'm just not doing it until I get that caliber of guest. We're going to be on pause. But hey, if we start booking them, then we will restart. But she thanked everyone for watching that one episode that she did. But you never know. Maybe she'll relaunch it. Maybe Drake will see that and be like, you know what? I need to go on Amanda Bynes' podcast because it seems like a great time. In other news, Maya Bialik has been let go from Jeopardy. She posted online saying, as the holiday break begins in Hollywood, I have some Jeopardy news. Sony has informed me that I will no longer be hosting the syndicated version of Jeopardy. I'm incredibly honored to have been nominated for a Primetime Emmy for hosting this year, and I am deeply grateful for the opportunity to have been a part of the Jeopardy family. For all of you who have supported me through this incredible journey, and to the fans, contestants, writers, staff, and crew of America's favorite quiz show, thank you. And in other news, Kendall Jenner and Bad Bunny broke up. I don't know how that affects your day, but thought I would throw that out there. And also a few days ago, the toxicology report and autopsy came out for Matthew Perry. There was acute levels of ketamine that were found in his body. Now that goes with his ketamine therapy sessions, which apparently in his memoir, he did discuss how it wasn't for him. So we are going to get to that coming up a little later on this hour. That's Trending Now on 1031 Fresh Radio. A few days ago, the autopsy report concluded that acute effects of ketamine proved to be the cause of death for Matthew Perry, among other things. But in his memoir, he did reference ketamine therapy and how it wasn't for him. We'll get to that story on the way. It's the Eagles. Please Come Home for Christmas on Fresh Radio. London's official Christmas station, 1031 Fresh Radio, as we are getting ready to say goodbye to 2023 and welcome 2024. I've been working on the top 50 of 2023, and of course, we look back on the biggest movies and songs, but also pop culture moments. And the passing of Matthew Perry obviously is a big one. I mean, I think that it was so shocking. I think so many of us were so attached to Friends and the characters that it really hit us hard. So a couple of days ago, they released the autopsy report, and that concluded that acute effects of ketamine proved to be the cause of death. Now, he went through these ketamine infusion therapy sessions, and he actually talked about it back in his memoir. And he essentially said that this drug should have helped, had his name written all over it. It's used for two reasons: to help ease pain and help with depression. He said that when he was getting these infusions, these therapy sessions, he thought, oh, this is what happens when you die. And yet I would continually sign up for this because it was something different, and anything different is good. He just said that, ketamine was not for me. So, I mean, yes, he was getting these infusions and these treatments, but based on the levels of his body, like he hadn't had one of these treatments for like a week before his passing. So it wasn't like the ultimate cause, because it was, his last known treatment was more than a week before his death, but the ketamine in his system could not be from the treatment since the drug's half-life is under 4 hours, according to the report. They noted that the contributing factors to the cause of death were drowning, coronary artery disease, and the effects of buprenorphine, which is a drug that is prescribed for medical treatment of people with an opioid drug dependence. They also listed his death as accidental, stating it was drug and drowning related. No foul play is suspected. So I don't know if this is going to give his loved ones any solace, to like find out, what ultimately caused it. It just seems like a bad mix of things that were going on in his body, and his body was tired. But Jennifer Aniston had said, we were texting that day, and she said that he was happy, he wasn't in pain, and he was in good spirits. It's Burl Ives on Fresh Radio. London's official Christmas station, 103.1 Fresh Radio. This song, celebrating its 65th anniversary, actually hit number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart, beating out Mariah Carey, which Mariah definitely sent some flowers and a beautiful card to congratulate Brenda on that. But Brenda Lee, when I had a chance to talk to her not too long ago, she was saying that Home Alone actually made this song famous for her.
I was trying to remember who called me and said, Brenda, have you seen the new movie Home Alone? And I said, no, I haven't. They said, well, you need to go see it because your song is all over the movie. And I said, which song? And they said, Rockin'. Well, so here I go. I go and see the movie, and I'm like, oh my goodness. Because at that point, it really hadn't done much. But boy, after that, it just took off like lightning and has become actually my signature song.
It's Brenda Lee's Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree on Fresh Radio. London's official Christmas station, 103.1 Fresh Radio. It is wild to think it was April 2019 that the Notre Dame Cathedral started on fire and was burning. And I think this was it was devastating, obviously, for locals, those of the religious community. But obviously, just like worldwide, that Notre Dame is just one of those iconic places. It's just one of those places that you have to see. I never have personally seen it. I've only seen pictures, and watching the videos of when it was on fire was very sad. Now, they have been in the process of rebuilding and doing making the structure safe and sound once again. It was the spire, though, that actually collapsed within the cathedral. And on top of it was a rooster that actually came from, I think it was like King Henry back in the 13th century. I mean, this thing, pretty big deal. Now, the rooster itself, it was broken beyond repair, but it's still kind of intact. So they are going to put that on display. But this past weekend, they put a new golden rooster. So kind of signifying the new cathedral. And they hope to reopen within the next year, I believe, is when Notre Dame is going to reopen. But it's been quite a process. Almost 4 years. Actually, wait, almost 5 years, right? Am I doing the math right? Yeah, almost 5 years since the fire. But they have been very busy on the restructure and the rebuild of it. It's the Bare Naked Ladies and Green Christmas on Fresh Radio. Apparently, TikTok is the place to go if you want to learn if your relationship can stand the test of time. We did the orange peel challenge before, but what about the bird test? We will get to that on the way. Tyler Shaw, maybe this Christmas on Fresh Radio.
Hey, it's Toni Ross, and the Christmas season on 103.1 Fresh Radio is in partnership with Ronald McDonald House, Southwestern Ontario. Give the gift of Christmas. You can donate $10 right now. Text HOUSE to 45678.
London's official Christmas station, 103.1 Fresh Radio. Well, TikTok is the place to go if you want to know if your relationship can stand the test of time. It was the orange peel test, and now it is the bird test. Essentially, if the orange peel test, if you didn't do that one, it was like those like little tasks like peeling someone's orange for them because you love them and you don't want to burden them by having to peel it. Someone had said that their phone was dead and their significant other plugged it in for them without them asking, and that was just like super sweet of them. Meanwhile, other people have ended their relationships because their partner didn't do things like the orange peel challenge or orange peel test. The bird test is very similar in a sense that, you're just sitting there and you're just having a conversation. You say something that has like no enthusiasm, has no meaning to it, no excitement, just sort of like a meh topic like, oh, hey, look at that bird out there. And your significant other should be so excited, over the moon. What bird? Let me see the bird. Let's see what's going on with the bird. What kind of bird is it? Now, if your partner shows interest and is engaged in what you say and are talking about even on the most boring and non-important topics, then they are a keeper. Then they really are the one for you. But if they are not as excited as they should be, well, then maybe you should rethink your relationship. Now, this is a bad example for me, as we recently got a bird feeder because we do like watching birds. We have gotten to that age. So I know if I said to my husband, look at the bird outside, he'd be like, what bird? What kind of bird is it? Are they eating? How many birds are out there? So I know we would pass the bird test easy. Flying colors. Flying colors. Didn't even plan that. But will your relationship pass the bird test? TikTok. I'm telling you, they know how strong relationships can be and how to test them. It's Santa Clara's Winter Sleep on Fresh Radio. Our friends at Humane Society London Middlesex are so close to raising the much needed funds for their new home. And one of the big things that they need there is an on-site vet. We know that these animals have to make multiple vet trips, some of them having to travel to like Sarnia or Stratford to be seen. And multiple trips is very stressful on them. But it also reduces or it actually increases the wait time for them to be available for adoption. So if they have an on-site vet, they will get the much needed medical care they will need much faster, and that will speed up their approval time so that they can be up for adoption much quicker, which is exactly what we need in this community. So the Humane Society put a call out. Southside Group answered they are actually matching donations, whether individual or corporate donations, up to $100,000 up until December 31st. So if you are in the generous spirit, you are looking for an organization to give back over the holidays, the Humane Society is a great option. They do such amazing work. And like I said, they are raising money for this new home. But also with Southside Group, a local developer, this just means that your dollars are going even further if they are matching it up to $100,000. I threw the details on our Facebook page. You can check that out and get a direct link to make sure that your money is going even further. It's Emily. It won't be Christmas on Fresh. We are still keeping an eye on this snow squall warning. Yes, we do have these flurries and rain this afternoon. More so flurries after 3 and 4. They might actually stick to the ground. Most of it's melting right now. But there is a system that is moving that could get to us. And if so, we could expect 5 to 10 centimeters of snow. But we'll just kind of have to see how the wind is gusting. Tomorrow it is going to be quite cold. -2 will be the high, sunshine, and 2 degrees on Wednesday. And things will warm up as we get closer and closer to Christmas. So whatever falls tonight probably won't stick around for too long. It's Alessia Cara. Make it to Christmas on Fresh Radio.
Single-handedly keeping the Scotch tape industry alive by hand wrapping every single Christmas gift. Toni Ross on 103.1 Fresh Radio.
Last week, we hosted our annual drive-through toy drive in support of the Salvation Army. Once again, thank you to everyone who made it such a huge success. We raised just under $34,000 for the Salvation Army and thousands of toys, which we know are going to be helping families in our community. I want to give a big shout out, though, also to Budweiser Gardens. They donated a suite for 10 to people that were doing a donation on site to a Christmas rock story. That is happening on December 20th. This is going to be such an amazing time. I do believe there are some tickets still available. So if you are looking for something to do in the holiday spirit as we get closer and closer to the big day, that is happening at Budweiser Gardens on the 20th. It's Ariana Grande, Santa Tell Me on Fresh Radio. Old school Tim Hortons fans getting pretty excited. The Duchy is returning in 2024. What we know about the retro menu coming up in just a couple songs. It's the Trans-Siberian Orchestra with Christmas Canon on Fresh Radio. London's official Christmas station, 103.1 Fresh Radio. A few weeks ago, There was a call out for it's open casting for a Tim Hortons commercial for people who love the retro donuts. They were going to include as many people as they possibly could into a short commercial. So, hey, who knows? Maybe you made the cut. I don't know. Maybe we'll be seeing you all over the campaign in a couple of weeks because as of January 10th, some of those retro donuts are making a return to Tim Hortons in celebration of their 60th anniversary. I think they might actually stick around. Now, the Dutchie was the square one that had raisins in it. I can taste it. And it left the menu early 2000s, which means, obviously our taste buds have more of a memory than our brains do at times. But this will be coming back. There's 3 other ones. They are pretty tight-lipped on which 3 are going to be making an appearance. I know that they've been doing they did polls and surveys, and I think the eclair was one. I didn't even remember them having an eclair. Well, maybe I do now. Now, sometimes when you think that you remember something, but maybe you're just making yourself remember something that didn't happen. Well, anyway, that's what's going on in my brain right now. January 10th, we'll find out. Tim Hortons bringing back some of those retro donuts as it celebrates 60 years. It's Andy Williams on Fresh Radio.
Thank you for helping us put smiles on faces across London this holiday season.
And we now have word back from the Salvation Army. We have a grand total of $33,840 raised from yesterday's toy drive. That's just the money coming in, and I can tell you we are up in the thousands of toys.
It's the Fresh Radio Drive-Thru Toy Drive. Wishing you a Merry Christmas on 103.1 Fresh Radio.